am2 we are in. I'll just quickly go through the field for race 11. This is it's a very strange one, this one. All Aston Martin field at an oval speedway. So I'll just make sure my audio levels are fine and dandy, and we'll kick on because there's not a huge amount to get on with this one till the very end, because there's a cracking race in the end. There we go, so I can hear myself and all's lovely. How are we all this morning? Hope we're all good. Hope life is treating you well at the moment, and everyone's managing to crack on with what they need to. So I shall quickly go through the field because it's going to be a pretty interesting. It's going to be hard to do commentary for this one for obvious reasons. Berserker Boy qualified first by 0.2 of a second. It's a really fast lap time. And the reason it was is because I managed to work with my teammate during the qualifying a little bit. With each other, we sort of worked with each other a little bit, but it's kind of like irrelevant at this track. But anyway, myself in first place, Moley in second place, Hammercat in third. I don't know if he's been promoted or dropped down from another league to join us for this race. Not quite sure, but welcome Hammercat. Awesome Pete here in fourth. Connor, my teammate, remember that, my teammate. We're both in the same team. In fifth. Yeah, he got a mouthful. He didn't get a mouthful. He got a mentioning, put it that way, in the team lobby after this race. Quinn here in sixth. Danny Ogston here in seventh. Crony in eighth. Spidey Team 9th. Pilgrim 10th. Rocky Rich 11th. The Darkest One 12th. Wooders 13th. Wimple 14th. Contains Gore 15th. And MRC Legas 16th. So really the only things to look out for at the beginning of this race would be, hang on, before I go, I'm just going to change. No. Oh, nice start there from Leg. I was about trying to change the audio levels. It's a bit loud in my ear. I'll just turn myself down. Hello Connor, teammate Connor, how you doing, buddy? So Lega is off to a pretty poor start there, and the reason I'm just looking at the back. Oh, Jambo got an awful start as well. What happened to Jambo? Let's go back to see what happened to Jambo. He was fourth. Oh, we got a full start. Oh, disaster for Awesome Pete. Absolute nightmare. It was a great race, Connor, indeed. Oh, and he's causing mayhem here is Jambo. So the worst thing that can happen really for anyone in this race is to get left behind. As we all know, it's all about the bump drafting and keeping up with everyone, and already Awesome Pete drops off from 4th back to 16th. But in the meantime, it's the Bondmobile, Berserker Boy with Hammercat 2nd. I'm not going to keep going 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th because it's going to chop and change all the time. I'll let the action speak for itself. There's Connor, my teammate, here in 4th. Danny's got a good start to 5th. And it's difficult to. This is turn 3, so we've got 3 corners, so there's not much to it. I'm trying to see if I can get a wide shot than this one. It'd be better to get a wide shot. Really, all I'm looking forward to seeing at the moment is how this group back here from Wimple back, did they manage to catch up to the guys in front? Let's go to the viewing options so we get a better. There we go. I think that's a better view. There we go. We get more of the field in the shot then. As you can see, down from 8th down, top 8 are in a group themselves, and then we've got 9th, 10th, and back to 16th, all in the second groups. So, wondering if these guys worked together to catch up the lead group. Speaking of the lead group, we go up front then. Here we are, the lead group of 8. Oh, he was out of bounds. Connor slammed the barrier a little bit then. Guys, I'm just looking at the time. I've already started looking at the time. We're only 2 minutes in. I'm already thinking, right, well, what can I talk about for the next 28 minutes? Oh, I know what I could do actually. I need to check, see what people's tyre choices were. So myself, Berserker Boys, I'm racing mediums here in the Bondmobile. Connor was on racing softs. Interesting choice there. Racing super softs from Danny. That's a brave, bold move that is for Danny. where's Hammercat? Hammercat was on racing super softs as well. I wonder if these guys pitted? I don't remember seeing anyone pit in the race, but I'm sure we're going to find out. Pilgrim's on super softs. Crony's on racing softs. There's a bit of gap now between Moley and Quinn, racing hard on the front from Moley, so we've got a right selection of tyres here. Now Moley himself is probably going to find, as I did, as I was on racing mediums, is that he'll notice going into the corners that the others can turn the nose in of the Aston Martin a lot quicker, and therefore it's hard to make an overtaking manoeuvre, because you kind of like try and get up the inside of cars, as it were, and then sort of just ease out in front, but you can't get the nose in on these lower grade and grip tyres like racing hard. So you can see he's losing a bit of ground at each corner, and that's why myself, O'Connor's in the first race now, that's why myself always couldn't really keep it out in front of anyone, because I was always exposed every corner I came to. I was always having to go a little bit wide. So far so good. Oh, that'll be interesting. Here we go. Let's go back here. 3 abreast coming into turn 1 from Rocky Ridge, the darkest one, and Jambo. So there's definite 2 groups here now. Group 1 and this is Group 2. Need to work together to pull themselves up to the lead group. And we've now got Connor in the lead. Go Team PlayStation, lots of bumping and barging at the moment. Don't remember there being really many incidents at all in this race. It's just going to be a flat out drag race, start to finish. Danny, just to keep it. The other thing that's going to be interesting, I guess, to keep an eye on is how did the people like Danny, for example, racing super softs, cope on this circuit. The lead group's all starting to get splintered up as well now. The top 6 in a group together. Crony and the Hammercats are just hanging on, and then there's a bit of a gap between Quinn and Moley. Quinn and Moley, to be honest, are probably in the best position in this race. Still just about in touch, but just working together with the guys in front. And then there's a big gap between now Moley and this group here in second, Group 2. Let's go back here. Someone's dropped right off. Contains Gore. Let's have a quick scan back, see if he had an incident at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 6, 8. He's with the group at the moment, is Gore. Does he get it wrong going into one of these corners? On board here with Gore now. Bump draft in there from Lega. He's going to get it wide, he's going to get it wide. He just misses his apex completely. That's all it takes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's gotten it wrong again at turn 1. Oh, Gore's right off the pace now. So in the meantime, I remember this up at front. It was a group of 4 splintered off. So it was this lead group of Berserker, Pilgrim, Connor and Crony. To be fair, I do remember we were all trying to work with each other a little bit to just keep this group away from the following group, because I remember there being a bit of a gap, but we just couldn't quite get it to work. Because as you can see, there's Hammercat in 5th. They're working with Quinn and Moley. Oh, Danny's gone all the way back here as well. He's got back to 8th. He's got it wrong somewhere, dropped some places. Back up front now to, here we are, myself, Berserker Boy, Crony. Yeah, I remember this. Crony and I trying to bump draft. I wish it was my teammate trying to bump draft me to get away from this group. Connor, are you listening, Connor? So now there's 2 groups of 4, and then a group of 4 behind that, and then another couple of drivers. So the field is now getting to be a little bit splintered up. Looking here at my racing medium tyres in front first. Wearing out, to be honest. I don't know if Crony. I mean, I'm on a controller, so it's gonna make my tyres scrub off a lot quicker. But you can see that Cronial Racing Soft's got just as much wear and tear on his tyres as I did with racing mediums. So I was struggling for grip towards the latter part of the race, but I do remember when I was in testing, I was getting up to about lap 27, 28 before I was really starting to suffer. So my game plan was, although I'm in the lead here, unless I got a breakaway completely, I was even thinking now to just take it easy, you know, ease off on the tyres going into some of the corners, do a bit of tyre conservation. Going through the tyre wears now with the lead runners. Hammercat suffering a little bit. Moley's Acura Quint 3 abreast going into turn 1. Through that quite well, and then you've got Danny's dropped off a little bit now. He's got it wrong again, scrubbing more speed off. And then this group back here, so 9th. There's basically 2 races going on at once here. 9th, the race for 9th, and then the race for the lead. Look at the map there at the top right. Cars are starting to get strung out properly now around the circuit. It was very tactical up front. I know this. I tell you what, I actually really enjoy the challenge of this track. It's not a technical challenge. It's not because you have to hit every apex just right and put the power down just right. It's the tactics of how to race an oval. There is a way and means to it, and I felt like this lead group of 4, we kind of like had the right idea. We weren't racing each other here. We were all trying to bump draft each other. I mean, I remember that there's bits like this. I was stuck on the outside then. I was wanting to kind of like feed in just behind the group, but stay with it. And the other thing I was worried about at this point is, again, racing medium tyres. My turning in is just not as good as you guys up front. So I had to be perfect every corner to make sure I stuck with you, otherwise I would just lose a little bit. So what I didn't want to be was like this, at the back of the group. I didn't mind being in the group, but not right at the very back of it. Bit of a kerfuffle there from the boys. Let's go back to Hammercat here. Quinn and Moley. Still within touch. What sort of distance? It doesn't show me the distance there. Let's go to Hammercat. The distance now between Hammercat and myself, Berserker Boy, 1.7 seconds. So there's they certainly haven't got the toe from the guys in front. These guys needed to work with each other to catch up to the boys in front. Oh, Moley getting it very wide there. To turn 3, come down the main straight. You can see the field's probably getting strung out now. 9 and 10 have started to pull away from their group. They work with each other. They could get up to the lead group. So yeah, as I said, I really enjoy the challenge of the circuit. It's a different kind of challenge to what we've normally done, and I really wouldn't mind having at least one oval track in the MRC gttcc season. One of these oval tracks every year, to be honest. It's I know it's not people's favourites. I think they need to try and understand the different kinds of challenges that it brings. And for example, like, although the turns weren't technical, I do remember being up front here thinking, I can't get one of these turns wrong. If I get one of these turns wrong, scrum a bit of speed off, I'm going to lose touch with this group. So it was actually quite stressful in a way, even though it's just turning left and everything. So yeah, completely different style of racing, and I think it's a fun one. I really do enjoy this. As you can see here, Connor, if you're still watching, mate, 1 and 2. I'm trying to bump draft you. I'm trying to bump you as teammates away from the group behind. You can see we've got a gap, Connor. We had a gap. This is the point I remember. We had a gap, Connor. We needed to work together. Oh, someone got a tank slapper on back there. I think there was Hammercat. Yeah, Hammercat got a bit of a tank slapper. You're there, Connor. Yeah, that's the so look, we were 1 and 2, mate. We were 1 and 2. We had it in our grasp. and Croney muscled in. Croney, I thought, drove a really good race. He seemed to be very. The key to this sort of style of racing is you've got to be smooth. If you get any wiggle on, that's what's going to cause accidents. Croney, I thought, really understood how to race these circuits very well. He was bump drafting. We were working together as a team to try and get away from everyone behind us and everything. This is the trouble. See, we're not really working. I have to say, we're not necessarily working. That's better. That's what we needed. A group of 4 like that, just following each other, and we'd have stuck as a 4 in a line. We would have just taken it in turns like a peloton to get out in front. Quinn is broken away here from Moley. Quinn probably desperately wanted to catch up to that group in front. He's still within touch. Where's Quinn? 1.2 seconds, so he's gained half a second. And there's Moley behind, so Quinn's doing his best to catch up. That's a very hard race for him to run. And you can see his racing softs. We're 13 minutes in, his racing super softs looking a little bit worse for wear now, I suppose. We're going through the tyre selection, tyre wear. So we've got Connor in front at the moment. Racing softs. Nice bump draft in there for Croney. He's down a quarter of his tyres. And that's what, you can see that Pilgrim, I didn't think quite got it, is racing me. So he's pushed me wide, and he's just because he's not just letting us get into the line of stern. It's not quite the way to do it. That's what we need to do. Just line of stern, drive away as a group of 4 away. So I'm seeing this now. I'm really also impressed with Quinn on his own now. He's not getting a draft from anyone. He's having to race really super hard here on his own. I'm racing super softs. Still managing to catch us. 14 minutes in, so it's time for a quick drinks break. Stay on board with Pilgrim. Here we are now. We've got a group of 3 just trying to pull away on board with Connor, Croney, the Beer Boys, and myself, Berserker. We've now got a bit of a gap between us and Pilgrim. I do remember this being a key point of race halfway through, because I was wondering, is anyone going to make pit stops or anything? And we've now got a bit of a gap between us 3. There's like 2 PlayStation team members here. See, I'm not fighting it with Croney. I'm trying to just stay behind him, bump draft away. Pilgrim's just starting to catch up now. I seem to be suffering with my racing. Yeah, there we go. Croney's desperately trying to get us to pull this group away. Should have stayed behind. There. That's where I slide in. Oh, that was a bit cheeky. Croney was going a bit wide then. All's good in the end. It's lead group of 4 now back together again. And Quinn's dropped off a little bit. So Quinn's down to half in his racing super softs. I was disappointed that my racing mediums weren't lasting longer. Look at that. My front right just seems to be suffering a lot worse than everyone else is considering their mediums. This is the view I race from, third person, trying to still bump drive Connor away from everyone. Croney's trying to muscle in on the slipstream, and he's there, so I can't really do much about it. I didn't really want him to be there, but nice driving from Croney. Trying ever so hard not to cause an accident. Very difficult. Now Pilgrim's got back into this lead group. His right rear, for some reason, looks to be suffering quite badly. Pilgrim doing a lot of sliding, so the field is properly split up now. We're over halfway, thank goodness. And then there's a big gap now between Pilgrim and Quinn in 5th. Moley's Still got Hammercat for company. Need to work together to catch up to Quinn in front, and then sort of bump draft each other up there, up further. Hammercat's suffering the worst on tyres, I have to say. I thought I was bad. Look at that with Hammercat. His right front is down under a half, I'd say. It's gonna be down to scary levels like I was in the race, that's for sure. Oh no, Danny's got the worst. Danny's racing Super Sauce down to third, maybe a quarter. Still holding on to 8th place. Oh, Jambo's now back up to 8th. Sorry, Jambo's worked his way up. Where's the darkest one? The darkest one's dropped right off. Oh, he's gone in for a pit stop. So there was a few people at pit stop who went into the pits. So the darkest one's pitted. Let's see if anyone else is pitted. No, none of the league group pitted. No one's pitted at all. So the darkest one is the first of the pit stops. So here we go. Crone is way out wide, just trying to keep bump drafting with my teammate Connor here. Pilgrim's probably in the best position of all, just cruising around behind the three of us. Oh, Pilgrim gets that wrong, slams into the wall. So we've definitely got a bit of a gap now. To the first 4 now. Then it's Quinn on his own, and then Hammercat and Moley still working together. And then we've got Jambo sort of on his own. Danny in 9th. Wooders is up to 10th. Spider Team 11th. The American. So would have thought that I was hoping the American this might be his forte, and that he might be quite good at this one. Just seemed to be off the pace a little bit. Lega was started last. He's up to 12th. Darkest one's obviously had. Oh, he's pitted. That's what he's done. He's pitted. That's why he's back here in 13th. And then we've got Gore, Wimple, and Rocky Rich all the way back here. Have any of these boys pitted? No, none of these boys are pitted. Wimple's doing his tyre is good for racing super softs, I have to say. So 10 minutes to go. For what it's worth, we'll have a look at who's got the fastest lap. So far the fastest lap is Pilgrim on a 49.3. So the gap is now between Pilgrim and Quinn. So just adjust my microphone. Pilgrim and Quinn. Distance now is stretched up to 2.5. So it was down to 1.2. But the guys up front sort of not really working together, sort of. Not technically working together very well. If you watch a real NASCAR race. Side by side maybe, but 3 abreast is when we're getting it wrong and fighting through the corners. You don't need to just come off the power a little bit and just get the slipstream behind. I'm impressed with Quinn being this far back on his own, still hanging on the tails here of the guys up front. Must be very frustrating to see that the leaders are just there and you can't do much about it. So Jambo's now up to 7th. Oh, he's coming into the pits. Not sure it's the best tactic. I think the tactic of the day was to no stop. That's why you've got some of these boys running around on racing hard tyres. It's going to completely change the complexion of the race now. Certainly for the guys at the back. I think everyone kind of like needed to no stops. Danny's pitted. The darkest one was the first of the pit stop team. Spidey team's not pitted. Hammercat has pitted. It's come in. It's still out in 7th place. And then we've got the lead group who has Moley. I do like the livery of that car. right rear suffering the most, because it's racing soft. A little bit of lag from him there. So we got 8 minutes to go. I remember this part of the race. Got back in the lead. There we go. Me and Croney trying to bump draft each other away. I do remember this part of the race. I was thinking, I'm going to have a crack at going in front. See if I can manage to pull away from these boys. And try and make a little bit of a move now. See if I could do anything to try and just be out in front. And I remember you three squabbling behind me, 3 abreast, thinking, right, here we go. And I was, Connor, just didn't want you to race me. I didn't want you to race me, mate. Just tuck in behind Croney there and just follow us round and then bump draft down the straights. But 3 abreast like that is the second, third and fourth all fighting each other. That's what kind of like let people like Quinn and Croney, sorry, Quinn and Moley catch us up. Yes, you heard that right, everyone. Keep an eye on 5th and 6th because they're not out of this race yet. It does get very, very tight towards the end. It was an absolutely superb race to be part of, I have to say. So I'm racing mediums now. I'm starting to get to scary levels on my front right. My front right racing medium is down to say half. My back is down to a third. And the same with Pilgrim. Pilgrim's now up to second, and he's on scary level tyres as well. Connor's racing softs down a third. So we're all sort of, we're not working as a team. We weren't working as a team. That's better. Connor. So line abreast. Just all these little moments of being line abreast does actually add up and count. Connor's done the right thing there by trying to follow the Berserker Boy in the slipstream, but Pilgrim is kind of like in the way there, but he slips in nicely behind. There you go, nice driving from Pilgrim now. Oh, Connor gets it wrong. Scrubs a bit of speed off. Pilgrim's now back into the lead. Berserker Boy's trying to slot in behind him. Croney nips in front of Berserker Boy, and there we go, line astern. So 6 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go. I don't know why is Pilgrim going down the inside? Why is he going down the inside like that? Obviously didn't want to make a move there, just there. So the boys up front have got scary level tyres. So here is Quinn, who's now been caught by Moley. These two have caught up. So really it's any one of the top 6 are still in this race. We're now coming down to the 5 minutes. Now the time is now to try and make your move if you can. Hammercat's the lead driver of the pitted drivers. Jambo's back here and now is 8th. He's got up from last place to 8th. Great driving from Awesome Pete. He's got through the field even with the pit stops up to 8th. Spidey teams in 9th. So we've got a nice race back here as well. 9th, 10th. Still at it. The darkest one, Spidey team. Danny back here. 3 abreast going over the line. With 4 minutes to go now. Right, I'm just going to have one more, get on board with leg out. I'm going to have one more drinks break before the final run to the finish. Okay, 4 minutes to go. Let's go back up to the lead group. We've got Croney is in the lead here. Pilgrim in second. Berserker in third. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? This lead group of 4. 3 abreast into turn 1, fighting each other. 5 and 6 close behind. There's Moley and Quinn. You can see that they're catching in. It's not helping, but the guys up front are all side abreast. No, that's not how you do it. Not how you do it, boys. Needs to be tucked in, that's better. Ooh, a little bit of a bump and barge there. Pilgrim just backed out a little bit there from the back of Berserker Boys, now up the inside. Pilgrim really does seem to like the inside line. He's coming very shallow into these corners. instead of being out wide. It's the second time I've seen him go round the inside of this turn 1. Very shallow. Crony's got a little bit of a lead. So 3 minutes to go. Now's the time to think about how we're going to finish this race off. How we're going to finish this race. You can see there, the lead drivers are now definitely on scary low grip measures on their tyres. I do remember the last thing I wanted to do at this point, after racing for so long with my tyres being so shot, was not to take anyone out. You can see we're all starting to drift too wide now into these corners. Crony just wide again. Pilgrim's gone very shallow. Not sure what he's doing that tactic, but it seems to be working for him. He's getting a nice drive out here as Pilgrim. He's not following Crony behind. Sorry, behind Crony. He's going up the inside. 2 minutes to go. It's 2 laps. This is it, boys. Now, I remember I did really well. I was right in the place where I wanted to be. I actually was thinking 2 laps to go. I want to be right behind the guy in front. And here I am, right behind the guy in front. I basically wanted to stick with Connor all the way and not get harassed by the 2 behind me. But they all started fighting, and I saw those guys fighting. I thought, right, let's try and get in front. And maybe those 2 will squabble behind. So I got back out in front with Connor. Berserker Boy's now out in front of Connor, but Connor starts racing me again. Pushes me a little bit wide. I lose some traction there. I do remember that bit there. If you go on board with myself, I got a little tap from Connor just there, which pushes me out too wide into the wall. Scrubs off for some speed. I remember that bit. Connor, my teammate. Fortunately, Crony gave me a little bit of a bash there to get me back up front. But that little tap from Connor really affected my race because I was in the position I wanted to be. So now, Berserker Boy trying very hard. Now, I didn't know who to take here. Should I go inside with Pilgrim or go around the outside with Connor? But Connor gets a superb line out there, so I try to go up the inside of Pilgrim here. So now we've got the last lap coming up, and as you can see, we've still got Quinn a little bit further away, and Moni's trying to slingshot Quinn here. But we'll go up front at the moment. Last lap time. Connor is in front. Crone is looking up the inside. 15 seconds to go. This will be the last time round turn 1. Connor is still holding off from Crony. Crony going around the outside. Berserker Boy's in 3rd. Pilgrim's in 4th. Everyone's on scary Larry tyres at the moment, apart from Moni's looking quite good. And sort of Hammercat's caught up now. He's got up to 7th. Coming into the second turn, Connor is in lead. He's got Crony side by side. They split side by side with Berserker Boy in 3rd. Berserker's trying to get a slingshot around the inside, gets too deep, hits the wall, and we're going to have a race to the line. I'm going to have to pause this as we get to the line. Crony's just in front of Connor, coming up to the line. Who's going to take the check flag? It's going to be Crony wins. Connor is 2nd. Pilgrim's 3rd. Quinn, because of, I'll show what happened here with Berserker Boy here. I got into the last corner. I tried to bury it a bit too early. Coming into this corner, I wanted to split these 2 because I saw Crony drift wide there, and I thought, let's try and get the power on, try and get up the inside of Crony, but get it wrong, hit the wall. That was enough. So here we got Quinn to get a nice drive on me, gets past me and gets into 4th place. Fantastic drive there from Quinn. Go back to a wide angle shot if I can. There we go. So Quinn was 4th, Berserker was 5th, Hammercat 6th, Moley's 7th. Oh, not wrong view. Oh, crumbs. That's the view. Oh, alright, let's go back. So Jambo and Jambo Awesome Pete coming around the last corner here, racing with Danny Ogston. Here comes Jambo now. He's going to finish in 8th place. Danny's going to finish in 9th, and then the rest of the field. The darkest one was 10th. Spider Team 11th, Leg at 12th, Wooders 13th, Rocky Rich 14th, I think it was 15th, something like that. And then Wooders back at the end of the grid. So there we go. It was a great race, Connor. Yes, it was. It was a good race. I really like that kind of racing. I think it's brilliant. Maybe not quite for 30 minutes next time. Well, no, 30 minutes is okay actually, because there's that fine line between tyre wear and needing to pit. So I think really everyone should have been pitting around about lap 27, 28, which is only 2 laps to go, but because the tyres were gone by that point for most drivers. So here we go, straight into St. Croix B2, which is the reverse. It's the first time we've been on this circuit here. So that's it. So Wooders. It's 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes recorded. That was a very long qualifying session. I do remember in qualifying, me and Connor, we managed to get our fastest laps in with, what was it, 2 minutes to go at the very end. So we got it through in the end to get the team PlayStation up 1 and 2. So in the meantime, right. So the next race, St. Croix, which is an actual place in Canada. The actual race circuit at St. Croix is there isn't a proper street circuit like this. It's just an oval, unfortunately. So it's a fictitious racetrack. But I have to say it's one of my favourites. I really do enjoy it. Anyway, so here we go. We have Wimple here in first place in the Porsche, Rocky Rich in the Audi in second. The newly nerfed Audi, which still doesn't seem to be nerfed very much, if I'm honest. Contains Gore in third, Wooders in fourth, Lega fifth, Spidey Team sixth, The Darkest One seventh, Danny in eighth, Jambo in ninth, Moley 10th, Hammercat 11th, Berserker Boy 12th, Quinn 13th, Pilgrim 14th, Connors 15th, and Crony back here in the Audi 16th. As per normal, I had an absolutely stonking start. The Subaru's just lightning off the line. So just before we start, just have another quick drink and then we'll crack on. And it's always fun for me at the start of these races. So forever, I always gain at least 3 spots, which was actually an actual tactic, to be honest, to try and be in a car that gains places at the start, so I can at least recover if I have a good race in the first race. So here we go. I can't see the light. Oh yeah, the lights from distance, and they're off, and we are away. And as per normal, on board with the Scooby, gets past 1, gets past 2, gets past 3, 3, 4, 5. 5 cars by turn 1 in the Subaru. I do love this Subaru off the line. However, I've got those horrible McLarens there, who are also excellent cars in this series. I think the McLaren's the car to be. So here we are, turn 6. I'm up. What is it? 6, 7 now. Up to 4th from 11th. Looking at back at Walton, little nudge there from Moley, but Spidey Team. I remember this racing me hard there, coming down this main straight. So in the meantime, we are all through, which just allows Contains Gore to be out in front. Wooders is in second, Moley's third, Spidey Team is getting for a long range shot here. Spidey Team, the darkest one, and myself, 4, 5, 6. The rest of the field flooding through. Moley's got a penalty there. Spidey Team doing really well. He's going to go very wide here this corner here. Just see if anyone goes too wide. Hits the barrier like Quinn and Connor do. Scraping speed off, and it's just allowing the field behind them to catch back up. So everyone's pretty much through, apart from Wimple, who had a disastrous start. I don't want to embarrass him because he had a hideous start, but he's gone from first back to last, unfortunately. In the meantime, Moley's picked up a penalty. We're just going board of Moley. Looking back here at the darkest one, McLaren just looks awesome. There's Berserker now. It's got a superb line at the end of the bridge. So Berserker's gone from 11th up to 2nd place now. The Subaru looking menacing behind the back of Moley here. Moley's, they're going to flash him lights. Get out of the way. You've got a penalty. Oh, what happened there? Oh, he's ghosted. That's what it was. So yeah, he ghosts through. It just allows myself to go from 11th place up to first by the end of lap 1. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. I got through the entire field by the end of lap 1 to lead at the end. Get a nice run. I could always seem to manage to make that last corner work for me for some reason, but the rest of the middle circuit, part of the circuit, just didn't work as well. So at the end of lap 1, we've got Berserker Boy in first place. Let's try and get a better shot from when I come around the corner. Modi second, Darkest One third, Wood is just hanging on for fourth. Pilgrim's forced his way through the field as well, and that Jag, he's very good as Pilgrim. He's got up through the melee of the midsection of the track. He's now got Wooders in his sight. Oh, kicking up stones there is the Lamborghini. On board here with Pilgrim. Trying to keep an eye on if anyone's doing it. Anyone has any problems a bit further back, because at the moment the field is really still quite close together. Let's see Jag pan out compared to the Lambo in front of him on board here with Pilgrim. I almost went for the Jag myself. There's a couple of cars I was interested in racing for the season. I don't like fighting through the field, so I wanted to gain an advantage with the Subaru, so I went Subaru. But in the long run, it looks like the Jag should have been that to go, or the McLaren on board with Wooders now. Oh, nearly gets wide. He's got a little nudge there from Rocky Rich here, coming up to the bridge. Horrible corner, this. Horrible corner. I don't like that corner at all. You want to put the power on a bit earlier than you need to, and then if you do put the power on earlier, you're going to T-bone into the barrier and come to massively have a massive big impact and damage the car at the barriers there. They're just set up to T-bone you. Oh, Quinn and Rocky Rich. Rocky Rich wipes the nose of Quinn in the McLaren there. Let's go on board with Quinn up to 6. Probably, I'd say, the best looking interior of any car. Love that dash, nice and bright, and the steering wheel. The only problem is as you'll see from this view, when he turns right here, that steering wheel gets in his view. Just right at the apex. Look at that. The big hand right where he needs to see what's going on. But we've got a nice battle brewing up here though, with Danny Ogden and Connor side by side. Dodge v Corvette. Oh, classic battle. And they've got Wooders and Jambo right behind them. But Danny's held the racing line, and Connor's having to go around the outside. Just avoid scraping the wall. And they still side. Let's go aboard with Connor. Where's Danny? There's Danny. Danny's falling in behind. And now Jambo and the Audi's catching them up. Jambo, Allison Pete, I've raced with practice in the circuit before. Oh, that was a great move from Pete. Let's go back and go on board with Jambo there. He's very quick at the circuit. He was also someone I was worried about being on the track where he gets past both Danny and Connor into turn 1. Great move there, but is Danny going to slingshot the Audi going around the outside? He is just about, or is Awesome Pete going to stick it up the inside here? They're still side by side. Oh, where's Connor? Connor's got it horribly wrong. Dropped off there somewhere, got that wrong. He's now being harassed by everyone. Oh, Connor's picked up a penalty as well. Disaster for Connor. Let's just quickly go back to see, how did Connor get this so wrong? Did he just cut too much curb coming into turn 2? 5 minutes gone and it feels like more's happened this race. Yeah, unfortunately he's got cut too much curb. Half a second penalty. Wooders is now going to be out in front. And here's Crony in the Audis. Going to be harassing Connor now. Coming down this main straight. Let's have a look at the straight line speed of the Audi. Easily past Connor. Where's Connor gone? There's Connor's gone back. So Connor's dropping off now. Let's have a look at this Audi. He's gets up to speed very quick. He seems to cruise away around about the 4th and 5th gear range. I feel the Audi just seems to pull closer to everyone than any other car. So when he gets to the top range, he's already got momentum. Oh, nice battle there for Crony and Wooders. Audi v Lambo coming up to this hideous turn. It's a blind apex as well. It's a nightmare. I really don't like it. I normally turn in where that blue sign, we'll just flip back. I turn in to the corner when there's that blue sign on the left appears on the left, just there. I'm turning in already by that point. It looks like Crony's got that wrong. Or maybe he got it wrong because he had Hammercat all over the inside of him as well. didn't really have anywhere to go. So nice battle back here in the mid part of the table. In the meantime though, let's go back up to who's leading the race. It's always myself. It's Berserker Boy still out in front, got a bit of a gap now. 1.5 second lead in the Subaru on Racing Softs and Racing Supersofts on the back. Bit of a gap now in the Subaru here. And then there's a group of three. We've got Moley in the McLaren, Pilgrim in the Jag, the darkest one in another McLaren. I was going to say Magnum then for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And then Quinn and another McLaren. Quinn's having a good evening. Stole 4th place from Berserker in the first race. He's now back up to 5th in the second. Looking at the lead group of drivers up there. Let's go through the Berserker Boy. Let's have a look at the lap times. Who's got the fastest lap? Quinn, yep. Quinn's got the fastest laps. He's definitely having a good race tonight, it's Quinn. Berserker Boy's out in front. He's got a 2.4 second lead now over Pilgrim. Oh, let's have a look. Pilgrim has now got to 2nd. Where's Pilgrim get it? Oh, turn 1. So a quick look at this from Pilgrim's point of view here. Dives under the inside of Moley into turn 1. So you can see he's got a nice tone draft there. Dives it up into the inside there. Hits the apex. Still had a bit of room there. I think Moley sort of gave him the position there. Moley's on racing mediums on the front. Maybe that's why he didn't fight it too much. Maybe hoping that Pilgrim is gonna pit. Oh, Moley's struggling for grip with those front tyres on racing mediums. And the other McLaren, the darkest one, and there's 3rd McLaren. 3 McLarens in this race. Oh, line of stern. There we go. Moley's binned it. Moley's binned it all by himself. Seems to be really struggling through this S section for some reason. Full lock right. Oh, gets the power on too early. The front nose doesn't pull with the racing mediums. Doesn't pull him round. Darkest one's now up to 3rd place. Moley's dropping back to 5th place now because Quinn's got past him. There's Quinn, he's up to 4th place. Moley back to 5th. Rocky Rich 6th. Jambo with looks like a full 2nd penalty. Not sure where he got that from. He's got to 7th, so he's making his way through the field. Hammercat and another Audi. There's McLarens. There's a field of McLarens and there's a field of Audis in this race, and then everyone else. Oh, Crony dives up the inside of Hammercat there. Nice move, bit of aggressive move, but it's still clean. Danny's right behind. Here we go on board with Danny now, behind Hammercat. Coming up to the end of the bridge. This was also a blind apex corner. Everyone seems to get the apex just a little bit too wide there. You actually need to be turning in sooner than you think that you should. Nice battle brewing here though. Crony's up there with look, this group of Audis together. Hammercat's looking up the inside of Jambo. Awesome Pete's ghosted out because of his penalty. He's lost the penalty now, so now he can take the position back, fortunately, from Danny. Can he get up the inside of the Audi into turn to last corner? He's going to stick up the inside. Oh, it's very deep. Is Hammercat just going to slingshot him underneath? Yes, he is. So these two fighting is just going to allow this Dodger Danny to catch up as well. And where's Connor? Connor's a bit too far off the pace at the moment. 3 drivers coming into turn 1, and is it going to end in misery for someone? No, they're all cleanly through. Although it looked like Hammercat was a bit wide. And in the meantime, Crony's got past this group and is now starting to ease away from them. So back up front, 10 minutes gone. Berserker Boy Racing Softs gets very wide there. It's going to lose a bit of time. So Pilgrim's now in 2nd place, hunting down Berserker. I have to say, there was... there was an air of inevitability. I just knew that Chris was going to catch me at some point, and there was not a lot I could do about it. Because Chris was driving ever so well as the series leader at the moment of the group, consistently putting in getting some excellent results, closing up on me over the bridge. Couldn't do too much about it. I'm sure Chris might have had the fastest lap by this point. Let's have a quick look. There's still Quinn on a 2:19.2, and then you can see Pilgrim's done a 2:19.2 as well, so he's right on the pace. Just cruising up to the back of Berserker Boy for the lead. Quinn's a little bit far off, and then we've got the darkest one in 4th. Moley's back here in 5th. Rocky Rich 6th. Crane, a nice battle here. Darkest one's still lagging a little bit, unfortunately, it looks like. Let's go on board with Rocky Rich. So there's Croney looking up the inside of Rocky, takes position. Oh, Croney might get a penalty for that. Possibly. No, he's got away with it. A lot of his wheels are off the track then, but he's managed to not get a penalty for that. Is Rich going to try and look up the inside here of Croney? Into the last corner, puff of smoke from someone up front. So 11 minutes in. Tyre wear on the Audi looks pretty bad on the front tyres there of Rocky Rich. Here we are with Hammercat, and yet another Audi. Eases off from back of Rocky Rich. Nice driving from Hammercat. Bit of a gap between himself and Rocky Rich. Sorry, and Connor. Oh, it's Danny now back here. Danny back here in 9th. Jambo's back here in 10th. Did I miss something? I must have missed something. I thought Jambo's a bit higher up the field than that. Unless I've already seen it and commentated on it and forgotten. Possibly. Oh, Rocky Rich is getting too wide then. Let's go back up front. Although I'm still in the lead, I've picked up a penalty. Trying too hard now to keep in front of Pilgrim. Pilgrim seems to drive a nice tidier line. Get it wide there. Berserker Boy gets it wide. Just a moment, Pilgrim gets a move on Berserker, a little bit further off. Go back here with Quinn, back in 3rd. He's got a nice big gap between himself and Croney. He's got through the field now up into 4th place. But Croney's bringing the darkest one with him, and Hammercat. Danny Oxen, there's a massive drivers here. Oh, from 4th place onwards, look at that. 4th down to 12th still. All within sight of each other. 14 minutes in, this could be anyone's race for the for points are definitely up for grabs here in the mid part of the field. Everyone's still within shout of each other. So we go back to 11th, 12th back here, and the Spidey teams. There's only a little bit of a gap. So down to 12th, up to 4th is all within a shout. Look at this. Great driving. Moley's gone a bit wide. I think it's probably Moley's gone wide yet because they're racing medium tyres. Really not working for it at the moment. He's going to save time by not pitting, that's for sure. But he's losing traction and having to fight with cars in the mid part of the circuit. There we go. In the meantime, Pilgrim's got in front of Berserker. Yeah, he's already by the end of the. There we go. At the end of the bridge, I think it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So back here now. So Pilgrim's now back out in front. Berserker's in 2nd place. Still hanging on. Racing softs on the front, racing softs on the back. Same setup there for Pilgrim. Subaru was quick through this section. You can see catches up to the tail end of that Jag. But it's around about 4th and 5th gear. The Subaru seems to lose out to everyone else, and then catches when it gets back up to the top speed of the rest of them. Very wide again from Berserker, trying very hard. Quinn's now 3rd. There's a big gap now between 3rd place Quinn there So Crony back here in fourth. So Crony's still hanging on to fourth place. Hammercat's fifth. The darkest one sixth. Danny's got back up to seventh. Got us chopping and changing in the midfield. Jambo's eighth. Rocky Rich, Connor and Moley. Let's go back up here with Moley trying to go up the inside of Connor. That's a bit cheeky for Moley. He's made it stick. Rocky Rich 3 abreast into the hairpin sort of corner. This is going to be interesting coming into this blind apex here into the bridge. Rocky Rich has got the race in line. Fighting. He's got. Oh, that was close. I thought Moley was going to T-bone that part of the barrier. But look at him, 3 abreast coming down to the end of the bridge. Who's going to take it? Moley's got the inside line at the moment. Something's got to give. Rich and Connor break too late. Moley's on the mediums though, so he can't turn in as quick, can't take advantage of it. And so Rich has got back out in front. Great stuff, and they're bringing Lega with them. Everyone on board with Lega. Lega's joined the party. Back here in 12th place. It's still fantastic racing all the way down to field. Oh, Moley locks up there, puff of smoke. Here comes Lega and is out. Oh, Moley's struggling badly now in that McLaren. Can't seem to make it work in that McLaren with racing mediums on the front of that car. Pretty sure people started coming into pits at this point. Yeah, there we go, up in front. So we've got Awesome Pete coming in, the darkest one coming into pits. Here we are with the darkest one. 17 minutes in, 13 minutes to go. Comes back out in 11th and 12th places. Come the 2 pit stoppers. There's Awesome Pete and racing Super Softs. And there's the group in front, all fighting each other still. Nice ballot. Lega's got right underneath Rocky Rich, gets past him. Nice clean move there. He's now trying to size up Moley in front. Moley seems to be really struggling in that McLaren. It's obvious that Moley's going to go for a no stop. He just can't. He's just losing his competitive edge. He's just doing that, just drifting wide, not being able to battle. He's just sort of going backwards. Because the other thing with this circuit is it's a real decision to make, because the tyre wear's not the hardest. It's fairly low is the tyre wear on this circuit, but also the pit stops are very short. So you're kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of scenario with regards to pit stops. Because if you did pit, you'd probably think, oh, I should have kept going. My tyres aren't too bad. Lega gets it too wide into the bridge. Nice racing here for everyone. Moley's just undercut Rich and Lega has just allowed Connor now to pull away from this group. So 18 minutes in, coming up to the end of lap 8. Pilgrim now, where is he? Pilgrim is coming round to the next to last corner. You see Berserker still in second. Quinn is in third. Do you know, I remember thinking at this point of the race, here I am, I was thinking, please, Pilgrim, please come into the pits. Go into the pits, mate. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. Oh, bugger, he's still going. He's still racing. And then I looked behind and thought, Quinn, are you going to pit stop? And then I realised he's in a McLaren, which is really probably the best car on tyre wear. And thought, oh crap, he's not, is he? Crony's into the pits though. Here comes Crony. His racing super softs are down to half. Danny's in, Hammercat's in. So in the meantime, where's Crony going to come out? He's going to come out 9th. Just allows Connor to get up into 4th place. Connor in the Corvette. Now got Hammercat and Crony behind him. Crony's already looking quite tasty to make a move on Connor into the first S section. In the meantime, Hammercat's harassing Crony as well. So 4th, 5th and 6th. Having a nice battle. Connor, if he can, just try and get a bit of a gap between these, and he could maybe let Crony and Hammercat fight. But nice try there from Crony. He's got him on the outside. Coming down the main straight, or back straight as it were. Up into 4th is Crony. Hammercat side by side with Connor. Right to the hairpin corner. Here we go. Who's going to get there? Oh, Jambo's very close to the barrier. Hammercat bails out, which just allows Jambo to get up in front. There's Jambo. Jambo's now looking to try and take Connor at the inside here. They turn into the bridge. Oh, he's going a little bit wide. Is Connor going to slingshot up underneath? He is. You know, there's Connor. Gets a power on early. Side by side. Coming down the bridge. Slots in behind. Hammercat's behind Connor. And Danny's back up to 8th. Danny pitted. Yeah, Danny's pitted as well. Nice midfield battle going on here. Different manufacturers. Nice clean driving from everyone. So back up front. So we've got Pilgrim now. Coming up to the end of lap 9 with Quinn really close behind Berserker Boy now. Not sure Berserker can hang on for much longer for second place. These boys haven't pitted, and if they were going to, now would have been their last window. So 1, 2, 3 got a bit of a gap between themselves and everyone else. Nice apex there from Berserker Boy, gets a very nice wide, but Quinn seems to have a little bit extra grip, and so that extra grip has just allowed him to get underneath Berserker. Berserker wipes Quinn's nose. This is a section where Berserker's quite quick through this section. You can see the Subaru with its 4-wheel drive seems to just be a bit better planted, even with the tyre wear affecting it. Cuts the nose off the McLaren again, but this is really the section where the Subaru just can't fight the faster cars like the McLaren. He's right in his slipstream. Here we go. Well, it's 5th gear. He's starting to catch up. 6th gear in the Subaru. It'll be 4th and 5th. You can see the cars can just cruise up to the back of the Subaru. Oh, why isn't it letting me go to myself? There we go. You see there, right? I was in. Let's go back. So here we go. 3rd and 4th and 5th gear. Before I get to 6th gear, Quinn has already got the momentum. He's starting to catch me here. As I get from 5th gear upwards, I just seem to lose traction on everyone. They just seem to be able to cruise up far too easy. There's not enough grunt. You can see also my tyre wear is down to half on the racing softs, so I'm also losing a bit of grip. Drifted wide there, just Berserker Boy. Quinn on the other hand doesn't drift wide past the poppy field. Coming up to the bridge. So 1, 2 and 3. Now Crony at this point. It's 14.9 seconds behind Berserker Boy with 8 minutes to go. Keep an eye on that time, because Crony's pitted and the front 3 drivers haven't. So far Pilgrim's managing his tyres very well, considering, with 7 minutes to go now. Quinn's not looking too bad with his tyres. Berserker's front right is looking very leery, I have to say. Crony's on fresh set of rubbers. 14 seconds to catch up to the last of the podium positions. In the meantime, Hammercat and Jambo fighting tooth and nail, 2 Audi drivers. But have they both pitted? Yep, both pitted. Hammercat's hanging on to 5th place. Let's go aboard with Awesome Pete. Well, we were just coming around to the last corner of lap 10. Can Pete get a slingshot underneath Hammercat? Audi versus Audi. Nice apex. But Hammercat wasn't too bad either. He's got a slightly better run though. There's Awesome Pete. Has he got enough room to catch up to Hammercat into turn 1? Side by side into turn 1, and there he goes. Where's Hammercat gone? There's Hammercat. So 6 minutes to go, just going to have one more drinks break, another drinks break. Hang on a second. Yes, I saw that. Did you see that in the background? Whoa! Danny gets it horribly wrong. Smashes the dodge. Oh, good crashing. So good, we need to look at it again. He seems to take off here. What does he... How did he take... That was very strange. Crashes into the camera. Ruins the dodge. Damage at the front right. One more time. From this point of view, he gets it all right here. He's not got a problem with his tyre wear either. Comes around this corner. Just seems to get it wrong from here. Ah, there he goes. Unsettled. That little dip. Nice flying. Good air time there from Danny. And crashes right in front of the camera so we can see it in all its glory. Fortunately, the driver's okay. We don't need to make repairs to the barrier, but the Dodge is definitely suffering. So that's just allowed Moley, who has got a penalty. Does he overtake? He can't overtake, can he? Oh, he's so close. Can he? Oh, Danny's gone off. Oh, that's why. So he's gone off, so Moley can overtake him under those sort of circumstances. Danny's gone off again. What's going on with the Dodge? That was it's kind of like very good driving there from Moley. With the penalty, he was easing off to try and make sure he didn't overtake. He's now got his racing super softs on, so he's gone for racing mediums and it's not worked. He's back here in 8th place. Trying very hard. Also seems to be a little bit all over the place. I'm not sure if that's due to lag or he's just a bit of inconsistent driving. Not quite sure. Darkest one's up to 7th. So they had Hammercat. Here we are. Hammercat and Awesome Pete still battling for 5th and 6th with 4 minutes to go. So, do you remember that gap between Crony and Berserker Boy was 14.9 seconds? It is now 8.4 seconds, and we still have 4 minutes to go. So Crony is on a charge to catch up to Berserker Boy. Now, depending on when the race finishes, because you know if they're going over the line with like 10 seconds to go, and there's another 2 minutes of racing to go, that could be quite key as to whether Crony can catch up to Berserker Boy or not. But Berserker Boy is certainly suffering on those exhausted front tyres, I have to say. Look at that, down to a 3rd on the front right. Lap times have been dropping now to 2:22, well, from 2:21s down to 2:23, so he's not massively fast. His Berserker Boy is still just being consistent up front, because the other boys are doing 2:19s, 2:20s. It's just the Subaru just doesn't suit these long, fast tracks. So here we have Pilgrim. His tyres are starting to look a bit scary. Quinn's tyres are pretty decent, to be fair, after all this race. The known stopping 1, 2, 3s. 1, 2, 3. 1st, 2nd, 3rd drivers are out in front still, obviously. And there's the first of the pit stoppers is Crony with 3 minutes to go. So Jambo's still fighting off Hammercat for 5th and 6th. The darkest one still got another penalty. Oh no, that's not Darkest one who had a penalty, was it? It was Moley. Darkest one's picked up a 2nd penalty. Here's Moley in 8th. His tactics hasn't worked. Rocky Rich is having a right old ding dong here with this gun board with Connor. See if he can find a way through Rocky Rich. Got past Rocky Rich on the inside. Just about now. So Rocky Rich can't take Connor back. If Rocky Rich goes up the inside there with a penalty, he's not allowed to do that. Rocky, you're not allowed to do that. You've got a penalty. Stewards might have to look at that one. Rich, if you've got a penalty, you can't re-overtake. That's the rules. Controversy here in race 12 at St. Croix B. Sure, Connor's going to get the position back because Rocky Rich seems to be struggling for grip. Yeah, he's struggling for grip there. There's Connor trying to get back. So 2 minutes to go. Come back to this in a minute because let's go up front now to Pilgrim. We have 1.5 minutes to go. We have just started lap 13. Oh, takes a lot of inside curb then. He's not. Is he being caught from Quinn? Quinn's got a win there just in front of him. He's got a better tyre situation than Pilgrim, but obviously won't know that. In the meantime, there's Berserker Boy and there's Crony with 1.5 minutes to go. The distance has got down to 5.9 seconds. It's coming down all the time, and Crony's just put in the fastest purple sector time for himself. He's definitely got a bit between his teeth. In the meantime, here we go. Quinn is definitely just starting to reel in Pilgrim here. Excellent stuff for the latter part of this race. I'm pretty sure Quinn is thinking, because we've only got 30 seconds to go, if there was another lap to go, I think Quinn would have been in line for a win here. But give credit to Pilgrim. His tyres are absolutely shot at the front, but he's still managing to hang on to first place with Quinn behind. In the meantime, there's Berserker Boy. We have 12 seconds to go. It's been rapidly caught here from Crony. The gap's just a bit too much. We go back up front. We go on board with Quinn as we're coming just at the end of the bridge. The race win is just a few yards in front. If you can get just close enough by the end of up to the last corner, he might have a shot of slingshotting. Getting up the inside here of Pilgrim. Is he going to get close enough? Oh, he gets it wrong. He has to readjust mid-corner. That's just going to lose a little bit of traction time and a little bit of impetus. But no, he's a bit too far away. Pilgrim just needs to, as long as Pilgrim doesn't mess up. It's the last corner. The race win is for Pilgrim. And here he comes. Pilgrim's going to do it. He's kept it clean around the last corner. So it's another race win for Pilgrim. Great racing there from Chris. Quinn is going to finish second. Berserker Boy is going to hang on desperately for third place. As you can see, Crony's caught him right up. So Berserker's third, Crony's fourth. Jambo is going to finish in front of Hammercat. Let's just quickly go back to see. Or is he going to finish in front of Hammercat? It was very close. Can't see where the line is. The darkest one's going to finish 7th. Moley's going to finish 8th. Rocky Ridge 9th. Danny's 10th. Connor's 11th. Now, as you saw, Rocky Ridge re-overtook with a penalty. The stewards might get involved in that. MRC Lega 12th. Spider Team 13th. Here comes Wooders for 14th. Wimple is finished in 16th. Damn, but it does sound nice, I have to say. Coming round now, here comes Wooders. Nice close racing there, not good overtaking. I love this circuit, it's a great place to overtake. Nice wide track, lots of this is how racing tracks should be in my opinion. Flows really well, great track. Anyway, here's Wooders now for 14th place. Crossing the line now, and then finally Contain Scores picking up the points in his Subaru. Let's go on board with Contain Score. Coming up to the last corner. Taking it quite easy now to finish the race. Coming down the main straight for the last time, past the Michelin tyres, signposts. There's a checker flag, and that is your race. Contains going 15th place. So there we go. Thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed that. See you again next week as we continue this exciting season for MRC gttcc Pro Am2 League. See you later. Take it easy. Bye.